Welcome to the Don't Talk During the Movie podcast, where we don't talk during the movie, we talk about it after. As you all know by now, I'm Mike, and this is Devin back with us again.
I'm glad to be back. It's so much fun.
All right, I am excited for this one because today we are here at Salvatore's Pizzeria in Herkimer, New York. Now, as you can see right here, Devin's got a nice looking slice right there.
I can't wait
He's
to
got
dig
his
in.
Mountain Dew ready to go for this episode of Don't Talk During the Movie. So, in this episode, we're going to be reviewing Jumanji, The Next Level. And I'm not sure if you guys can quite see this here, but we do have the card game, the Don't Talk During the Movie Jumanji card game exclusive.
No, wait, they have that now?
Yeah, it's a Meeple's Mughouse exclusive.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
All right, so I'm going to begin here. I'm going to start it off right now. See what we get. Ooh, we got a 1. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to start off here. Jumanji is a crazy game. Did the newest movie feel the same?
No, it totally went in a completely opposite direction. The original movie was obviously the board game. Second one was the newest iteration to it, adapting to present day. The third one is it going absolutely haywire. Mm-hmm. I think his name is Spencer, right? Yeah.
Yes, Spencer.
So Spencer actually longs to go back into the game. He's got life's down. New York City's not as good as he was hoping.
I know.
So it's to the point where he's thinking to himself, Jumanji is better than the real world.
I know.
So he fixes the game, well, quote unquote fixes, and goes back into it.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right, he wanted to actually be Dr. Brimstone again. From the
that
from
worked
when he was
out
in the
great,
games,
didn't it?
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll get into that later on. But in my opinion, I thought it was. But yeah, I felt like with this one, dude, do we want to cut it here?
No, it's okay.
It's fine. All right.
You go on.
I didn't realize it'd be crunchy.
All right. So in my opinion, for this one, I thought that it was actually. Because they're going back into the Jumanji game, obviously there's a different motive for them going back into the game. But overall, we have different characters in the game. Now, we have some of the same, but some new characters.
Yes. Oh, God, Grandpa Eddie and Milo Walker.
Right, yes. They actually played the older guys, like Danny DeVito. He actually played Brimstone in the beginning.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah,
I still love Kevin Hart playing Danny Glover's Milo Walker.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes, Kevin Hart did play Milo Walker, and he goes like, "Did I die?" You know, like he had,
Did I die and turn into some kind of a small, muscular Boy Scout?
he had that such a great voice. He played that part so well.
I loved it.
Okay, so it's your turn next. You want to go ahead and roll the dice?
No, we have all seen this. We all know what happens. I rolled a 1 as well, so I guess that's going to be the next one. Jumanji movies are a blast. It's time we talk about the cast.
All right, so I'm going to tell you a few of the important cast members right now. First up, we have Dwayne Johnson as Dr. Bravestone. Not Brimstone, Dr. Bravestone. And we have Danny DeVito as Eddie Gilpin. Jack Black as Professor Sheldon Shelley Oberon. Kevin Hart as Franklin Mouse Finbar. Danny Glover as Milo Walker, and Karen Gillan as Ruby Roundhouse. So yeah, we said this just now, like Milo Walker, Kevin Hart, that was awesome. Danny DeVito, when Dwayne Johnson had to try to be Danny DeVito, that was awesome.
Oh, that was hilarious. The Rock as Danny DeVito, having them play an older person, just hits it right out of the park. It's so funny. Martha, Bethany, and Spencer, along with Fridge, have all been in the game before. So the whole thing with Bethany at the beginning was really, really cool. I didn't think that because she initially doesn't go into the game.
Right.
It's Milo, Grandpa Eddie, Spencer goes in obviously first, Fridge and Martha. But Bethany gets left behind. She stays in the real world.
Exactly,
so she's trying to figure out how to get into the game, and I'm not gonna say how she does go in, but she goes back in somehow. I'll leave that one for you guys.
Right. So yeah, she does end up getting into the game somehow, and this whole movie is kind of based off of them trying to find Spencer in this big world of Jumanji.
And Martha, Fridge, No, it was just Martha and Fridge. So Martha and Fridge have to teach Grandpa
Right,
Eddie and
they have to
Milo
teach
about
the
the
two
game.
older guys how to play Jumanji, and that it's actually just a video game, and they think they died or something in the afterlife.
It goes about as far as what you would think it would go.
yeah. It's just really strange, but it's something you have to go and see for yourself. The comedy, that part alone, where the older people are in the game, that was funny alone.
I think it went on a little too much,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
When it started to be less funny for me, I kind of went, come on, really, guys? At
Yeah,
this
yeah, yeah.
point, I know you're old. I mean, but
Right.
come on, you have to at least figure it out a little bit.
Right,
can't
I
help
thought the
myself.
comedy in the movie was funny too. Like, for example, when we saw Kevin Hart, one of his abilities is he's able to talk to animals. So he's able to like talk to the
Way down the
camels.
road.
Yes, way
Yeah.
down the road in the movie, we see him talk to like the camels and stuff because he can talk to the animals, and it's like the camel wants to do a certain thing, and
right,
Dr.
yeah.
Bravestone wants to do his thing. And it just kind of like, it's funny how Kevin Hart is kind of like the interpreter, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, how
he has to be the translator.
It's almost like how, not Bethany, but Fridge, now that he's the old, oh my God, and the whole bit with them starting out in the desert, everyone's seen
Right,
it in the trailer,
right,
the
yeah.
strengths and weaknesses that pop up, where it's
Yeah.
heat, sun, and sand. I love that part. But moreover, that he's the cartographer, so it's exactly like him, with him being the only person to read the map, but everybody else looks at a blank page.
Right.
It's exactly like that.
Right. And another part I thought was cool where, like in the movie, they were able to switch their characters. So for example, like they were able to play as the original characters they were
Yes,
in Jumanji.
they get to choose who they were.
Yes, in Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. So, for example, when eventually Spencer comes into the picture, he is Dr. Bravestone again because they
Yes.
switch characters. He's this new character in the film. I forgot what her name was.
I can't remember either, but she's the. Oh my God! Why can't I think of her name now? Why did we write this down? It's Ming. Yes.
Ming,
Okay. So
yes.
Ming. So she's a thief, lockpicker,
Right,
basically
she's a
like
stealthy person, yes.
Yeah, stealther. That didn't work out for her either. Well, him, Spencer, whichever. But
Yeah.
he ended up becoming.
It gets very confusing after a while.
He ended up going into the game as Ming.
Right.
But pretty much stuck because he really wanted to be Bravestone.
Right.
Ended up getting crap out of
Yes.
luck. I think the funniest part of that was when he like pulled up her strengths and weaknesses, where he's like, "It's basically just me, but I'm in a video game now."
Exactly. Yes, I remember that part. That was good. The first time we see this character switching actually take place was when Fridge and Martha are switching characters. So they go
Yes.
from Jack Black to Karen's
Gillan.
character. Yes, and they switch on and off from this it's like this green liquid, electric
It's
liquid.
like because I knew this was going to happen. I had a little theory before the movie even released. It was, I knew something was up with the water. I thought that it was honestly going to leak into the real world, but I knew that was key into it. I didn't know how, I didn't know why, but the water itself gives a avatar switching capability.
Yes.
Two people have to be covered in the water, or at least have to touch the water and then touch the other player that they want to swap characters with. Then after that they let go, boom, character switch.
Yep,
I thought that was really, really cool.
It was really interesting, yeah. All right, I'm gonna roll the dice and let's see what happens. What?
How do you keep getting, why do we keep, that's a third one.
I know.
It's a one.
Wait, that means in this instance, tiger. What? Get that off the table. The tiger, what? So now I'm going to tell you guys about the plot of Jumanji: The Next Level. When Spencer goes back into the world of Jumanji, his friends re-enter the game and bring him home. But the game is now broken, and everything the friends know about Jumanji is about to change. All right, so it is now my turn to roll the dice. Let's see what we get. All right, a 3 this time, so that means we're going to pick right here. Before we give the Shush reactions, let's talk about the movie's action. So what did you think about the action in this film?
The action sequences were really fun. I
They
loved
were.
them, especially with The Rock. The Rock had probably the best action scene in it. You know exactly where it was, where he had to be, where he had to be the watchdog.
Oh, yeah.
And that didn't really go well either.
No.
Watchdog decided it was Grandpa Eddie as Bravestone
Bravestone.
at that point. So he's like, wow, I'm strong. Let's test that out a little bit against 50 plus other guys.
Oh yeah. So the action though, like there was a scene right, not really out of the gate, but one of the beginning scenes was with the ostriches, and they're all making a stampede down the sand, and they're all in the dune buggies.
That's my favorite death.
That was crazy.
Was just him trying to shush away the ostrich, and I love the joke that they make that Milo talks way too slow because he's the zoologist in this case now, so he knows all the facts about the animals. So he's just talking slow. Well, the ostrich is more territorial than most. And I'm like, oh my God, please get to the point. And then as soon as it became provoked, just and I thought that had to have been the funniest death out of the entire movie. That
actually is a great transition to what I was thinking of. So we saw these monkeys. Milo's talking slowly, like those are, and then they get into a predicament where the monkeys are just going right after them when they're on these floating bridges. There was only like 2 ropes attached to them or something. And they're all flying around on the bridges. It was a really cool scene. I love that scene.
Excuse me.
One thing I'm going to say, though, really quick, though, is I felt like the action in the last scene, not to spoil too much about the last scene, very abrupt. I felt like it happened all really quickly.
Yeah, me too. There is a part in there that we were just talking about off camera that we're not going to spoil. This was absolutely incredible. It is a part where they end up switching all their characters back.
Yes.
Fridge becomes Fridge becomes
Jack Black.
Jack Black. No. Bethany becomes Jack Black.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then Fridge became Kevin Hart. And
just like how they were in the original.
So, yeah. So they're all back to the original, and Milo became a horse. There's something really cool with the horse that happens. We're not going to talk about, but it's a really cool strength.
What is the runtime and rating of this movie, and do you think it's for kids?
So the runtime is 2 hours and 3 minutes in total. Unfortunately, there's no after credit scene, but there is a small scene which you guys left for, by the way.
I actually did end up watching it online, and it was awesome.
I am outing you on this. So right as soon as you see the first bit of credits pop up, it's just the regular before the crawl. There's a small scene after that, and then after it transitions into the Welcome to the Jungle map, they did in the second one. And then that's it. You guys can stay behind for the credits and the soundtrack. Other than that, unfortunately, nothing. It is rated PG-13, so those of you who are under the age of 13 have to be there with with your parent or legal guardian. It's not really for kids, I have to say. If you're under 13, if you're like 12, 11, you're barring it. I don't think under 10 should come in, 10 and younger, I would think. Only reason being is they kind of push the PG-13 envelope. There's some swearing in it. There's a lot of action scenes which aren't too bad. There's some bloody-gutty stuff that happens a little bit.
Yeah, I think they gave it a good rating at PG-13. I think that's appropriate. So I guess it's the moment you've all been waiting for, finally, the Shush rating. So
I'm gonna have you go first.
You're gonna have me go first. Yeah. Okay. So for my Shush rating, I'm gonna go with a 4 out of 5 Shush rating for this one. Now, honestly, I was going into this movie thinking I was gonna give it like a 2 or a 3. I liked the last one, but I didn't think I would like it as much. But I actually did. I thought they were comparable. Maybe the first one was a little bit better, but this one all actually held its own ground, in my opinion. You had really good action. The character switching, I thought, was the best part of the movie, in my opinion, because they were all playing as different guys within the film. You had that stress in the first film of when they all get down to a life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I love that impending doom where it's like you still have to look. The life counter is the exact same from the first one. It's right on your arm, and it's like these little tick marks.
Yes.
And just seeing that go from 3 to 2, and then from 2 to 1, it makes your heart skip, and you're not even there.
Right. And, I actually thought the ending was really nice. It was very emotional, and it was very, very good. So that's why I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 Shush rating.
And that horse still had 3 lives, too. As far as I know, I don't think did anything stupid with it.
They didn't even show how where the horse's lives are, right? I would assume it might be on like their hoof or something.
I love how he found the strength and weakness onto it by accident.
Yeah.
And then it's a part where he finds it and he goes, wow. Yeah. That's pretty cool. And I'm like,
but we don't see what his power is
until way later.
But Nick Jonas, I think, is that his character that sees it?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, and so Nick Jonas's character sees that and he's like, whoa. And then Yeah, you'll have to find out what his power is, but it's sick.
All right, so for my Shush rating, I'm actually going to give it a 4 out of 5 as well.
Okay.
I was initially going to give it that 4 out of 5. I did go in there with low expectations. There's this whole thing with threequels where usually the 3 into it's not the best. But in this case, I want to say it's about on par with the second one.
Right.
It gave new interpretation to the board game, video game itself. It gave a new direction to it. It wasn't the same storyline. There's obviously some things wrong with it. And there were some moments where it took me back and I went, really, guys, a little too much.
Yeah.
And we didn't need to keep going this route with that. So
Right.
it's not perfect.
Right, it wasn't.
All in all, the graphics were amazing for what they had to do as far as CGI. The environments.
Yes.
The
Oh, it was beautiful.
the snowy terrain.
Oh, yeah.
The desert was absolutely hysterical. And there's a town in it too that really brought life to
Yeah.
Jumanji.
It was awesome.
And the NPCs are still funny as ever, especially
Oh, yeah.
with Bravestone's flame.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty interesting.
He's awesome. Yep. So I think this is actually the second time on the podcast that we agree
Yeah, well,
on
it's
our
about the
rating.
same.
Yes. So, all right. We have one final card left here, Devin. Do you want to roll the final dice roll and see what's under there?
If I get a 5 and get sucked into the game, I'm going to haunt you for the rest of my life.
Hey, it's all you, man. I ain't doing anything.
I don't want to roll a 5. It's a 4.
Oh,
I'll give it
okay.
that.
All right.
All right. It's blank.
It's blank.
It's blank.
What's that mean?
I don't know. Why is it blank?
Oh, wait.
Wait a minute. You feel that?
Yeah. Stampede?
Stampede.
Oh, gosh. We gotta All right, everyone. So I know that was a pretty abrupt ending, but I do have one last thing to say. So, we were originally supposed to film at another location, and due to the weather, they weren't able to open. Luckily for us, Salvatore's was open and they allowed us to film there. We are very grateful for this, and this is going to be it for this episode. So, we hope you did enjoy. Please subscribe if you're new, because we are on the road to 800 subscribers. And we also have one last special message from the staff at Salvatore's. So let's see what they had to say right now, and peace out.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays from